So I was at the mall earlier today buying some new clothing for my upcoming trip to New York. And as usual, when I go to the mall, I noticed that pretty much none of the stores had good options for those who are known as plus size. This idea that fat people need their own size category to begin with is really problematic, but that is a whole other video. My point is that being over a size that society considers to be attractive or acceptable means that you don't have many options when it comes to clothing. You can't just walk into a store and assume that they will carry a size that fits you. You can't just pick up a pair of jeans and know that your size is going to be in that pile. You can't just go in and buy something without trying it on, knowing that if anything, the item that you buy is going to be too big. You can't go in expecting that you'll have clothing that's stylish, fun, and trendy that will be available in your size. Consider these statistics. 77% of plus size women say that it's difficult to find clothing that fits them well. 65% of plus size women say that the clothing industry ignores their needs. 72% of plus size women feel excluded from the fashion community. Plus size women are also more likely to feel frustrated and excluded while they're shopping than thinner women. In addition, plus size women are less likely to feel comfortable while they're shopping. Obviously, just by looking at these few statistics, it can be determined that retailers are not meeting the needs of plus size women. The ridiculous thing about this is that 50% of women actually report wearing plus sizes. So, if we live in a capitalist society, which we do, why aren't clothing companies picking up on this market? There is a huge market of women who are being underserved. The answer is that our world and our economics aren't excluded from socialization. Our society socializes us to be fearful and intolerant of fat. Our society is inherently fat phobic, which means that people of size experience oppression because of their fatness. In other words, society doesn't like fat people. Because of this, clothing is just one of the many ways that fat people experience oppression. We're excluded from mainstream fashion. Usually, the only clothing available to us is frumpy and lifeless and plain, and it's also often more expensive. I was at H&M today, and for some reason, their regular size leggings were $10, while their plus size leggings were $13. And their regular size harem pants were $18, while their plus size version were $30. Sure, yes, plus size clothing does require more fabric, but fabric is often only a few cents per yard. And trust me when I say that these retailers use the cheapest fabrics possible. The reason that these clothes are more expensive has nothing to do with fabric and everything to do with fat phobia. Besides this, even, there's the availability factor. There are not many stores that carry plus size clothing to begin with. And for those that do, the options are usually limited, the clothing is more expensive, and it's usually fractioned off to a teeny tiny section of the store. For instance, today I went to Forever 21 and H&M, which I already mentioned, both which carry plus size clothing lines. But the clothing that's plus size that's actually in the store is very, 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 very little. There's very little selection. And again, we run into the problem of it's more shapeless, it shows less skin, it's less sexy. I have to go like all the way to the friggin' back of the store to find this stuff. Why do plus sizes need their own section of the store? Can't the regular sizes just be expanded to include more sizes? Why do they need like a special different section and special different designs? Fat phobia. Yeah, this is another example of that whole like separate but equal thing. And as we all know, the Supreme Court has said that separate but equal is actually not equal. Let's go back to this idea of showing skin. You usually won't find crop tops, tight jeans, or short skirts in the plus size clothing section. Why is this? Not because fat people can't wear these items, but because society says that they shouldn't. Fat people aren't supposed to show skin because fatness is supposed to be inherently ugly and shameful. Seriously, society? This is such bullshit, and it really pains me to see clothing stores and people literally buying into this. Plus size clothing, even if you do insist it needs to be in its own separate section, should be just as sexy and fun and revealing as regular size clothing. Like, if I want to show some jiggle, I should be able to show some jiggle. That is beautiful. And personally, I myself like seeing some jiggly ladies showing some jiggle. And those who don't like it simply don't need to look. But I shouldn't have to wear clothing that's tailored to some asshole's opinion about what I should put on my body. So, what can you do about this? 1. Support plus size and body positive retailers. Shop at stores like Cato, Torrid, or The Avenue, which support plus size positivity. 2. Protest. If there's a store that you really like that doesn't offer plus sizes, write into them and let them know you're not giving them their business and boycott shopping at that store. 3. Wear whatever the fuck you want. Even just wearing a crop top as a fat lady can be a political statement. I love me some crop tops. 4. Support the plus size ladies in your life. If you aren't plus size, or even if you are plus size, support your fellow fat ladies. And if you happen to go shopping with them, and by the way, never avoid going shopping with someone who's plus size, that's fat phobic and asshole-ish. Try to find some places that you can shop at that offer plus size options. And if they're body positive and don't section their plus size clothing off to a certain segment of the store, even better. And finally, 5, love your body. Whatever size you are, your body deserves love and respect. Take care, everyone.